Hey everyone, Riot dropped a surprise B patch today as I'm recording this video on the 19th, so when I post up this video tomorrow on the 20th, it will be live. It's actually live now. I wasn't sure until like 15 minutes ago. This patch is live now, but we'll quickly go through some of it. Um, Start off Katarina. Katarina got a few nerfs. I think this is just a nerf back to the level she had before the patch, with the exception of I don't recall this mana refund. I don't recall. I don't think that was there. I gotta turn this off. There we go. The mana refund I think is another nerf on top of that. 3-star Katarina is actually incredibly powerful, mostly because of this mana refund. You can run through an entire board if it's well optimized and it's good items. So I'm not surprised to see this be. I was surprised to see her getting buffed. Period. Um, 2-star Cat is actually a very good carry to take you into a late game composition. Not to mention, you can just re-roll it for assassins and have Katarina be your carry. It's pretty good. Next up, Scion. Okay. Scion, this patch, is busted. So that's why you're seeing all of these changes here. The big. I mean, you can see that there's actually buffs and nerfs here combined. The HP buff, armor MR buff, but AD and spell damage got nerfed. So with Sion, you could put AIE and Jewel Gauntlet on him, and this alt would stomp entire boards. If you put your entire composition on one side of the board, Sion would ult them, and Sion would kill all of them. Not even close. It utterly destroyed everything in its wake. Easily, it was like SS plus tier, SS plus tier. Yeah, we'll go with that. Um, Changes needed to happen here. It's unfortunate that this only was live for like 2 days, but this patch had to come down today because I'm assuming most of the Riot team is out next week, so there wouldn't have been anyone to push this B patch, which is why we're getting the B patch today instead of next week. But yeah, this Scion was borked. Just ran over everything. So nerfs. Same thing with Colossus damage reduction. This probably doesn't mean much. I don't think the buff really meant much anyway. The point is, Colossus on its own is a little bit awkward to running two because you're running two less units by running two Colossus, and that's pretty tough to make up for. Despite the fact that most of the Colossus units are actually okay to run. But when you run them at like 1-star, it's pretty rough. Traits, Mutant. So a couple things here. The Dark Star one, I suspect, had to do more with spats. Um, this AD and AP stacking with spats on to make mutants. If you put that on some carries, these numbers got out of control quickly. A good comparison is if you made a mutant spat and put it on Katarina or Jin. Jin's another good example. Just destroyed everything. One of the best spats you can make if you get Dark Star, the Dark Star version. Metamorphosis, on the other hand, so yeah, this got nerfed again. My understanding is that the long-term plan for Metamorphosis is that they're going to get rid of just the AD and AP stacking and just make it pure armor MR and make it super uber tanky. That's probably fair, I guess. But the general problem with both of these was that they were both a little too efficient on both Cho'Gath and on oh shoot, I forgot what the other mutant carry is. Malthazar. Um because Cho survived so long, both of these often were really good with him because he just didn't die. He just stay up forever and blow up everything in his path. On the other hand, Malthazar, he got the advantage because he was the backline carry. He wasn't in the front line getting beat up on. So both of these, he would often be like one of the last units you have alive and just kind of stomp over everything. So this is just a matter of how mutant functions um in terms of its carries as the game goes on, that both of those particular carries tend to go very long in the fights because they don't get targeted. Or in Malthazar doesn't get targeted and Cho's just like unkillable anyway. Next, a couple bug fixes. But the other point that's worthwhile to talk about, there's a lot of bugs on the current patch. The big one in Champions swapping aggro. I've seen a lot of videos of this lately. It generally has to do when a champion ults. It'll either ult a different target and then aggro a different target. And there's an issue with something ulting and it's aggro resetting and not aggroing correctly. And it's making some like really odd fights. Hopefully that gets fixed up next patch. This is something that's probably bad enough that it probably would have deserved a B patch if they could fix it, but I don't. I assume they just can't fix it on a B patch and need an actual full patch to fix this issue. But yeah, the videos I've seen of this look really awkward. Just like you'll have a champion ult something that they're attacking, and then they'll aggro to another unit that has full health before they kill off the unit they just ulted. It's very awkward. Foreign first are not enforcing the correct target. And they did do a lot of changes to Enforcer on the most recent patch, so it's not really surprising. Mutant Spet not working on mana induction. I've seen this one before. Everyone trying to reduce that mana cost on Katarina. Basically, it'll show that the mana has been reduced, and then the fight begins, and for some reason that just goes away. Double Up has a whole bunch of weird bugs in it. There's not much else. It has a lot of weird bugs. It's fun to play from the handful of games I've seen of it, but it's kind of buggy. I've seen like champions just kind of vanish off boards and weird things like that. Anyway, that's it for the patch notes. This is likely what we're going to be stuck with for the duration of this patch. We're probably not going to get another B patch because we're probably going to get a whole another patch in. Let me check the calendar on the 30th. Because next week is Thanksgiving week, so my assumption is, like I said, everyone at Riot's probably off this week, which is why we're getting the B patch now and not next week. So this is what everyone will have to work with throughout the holidays until the 30th comes around and we get the next patch. Anyway, that's it. I shall see you all around. Peace out.